your name. I'm looking forward to sharing with you guys today what we have been up to at the Radical Success Institute. I know that this has been, I'm telling you, a year of shifts and pivots and wins and challenges. And so I'm glad to see you guys here. Hey, Deborah. Hey, Solandria. Yes, yes, yes. And, many of you have been a part of our tribe for a minute, and some of you are brand new. And so we've got some exciting things happening that I wanted to come on and share with you guys and let you know what we were up to. Hey, Sonia. So if you are tuning in, and make sure you say hello. Let me know where you're from. And if you are catching this on the replay, give me a shout out down in the comments as well to let me know that you were here and where you were tuning in from. So, hey guys, it is Doreen Rainey, your Radical Success Coach, and I'm looking forward to sharing with you everything that we have going on at the Institute. Many of you know that throughout this year of craziness and pivots and shifts, we've been doing some great virtual events. We've been working with great clients around their business and their personal transformation. And our mission has always been, to help people define success for themselves and get the guts to go after it. That is the very definition of what it means to get radical. And we have been serving that mission for 12, 13 years now. And we have coached and trained and consulted with and supported and held accountable thousands and thousands of clients to help them get to their next level. And when I look back on all of the areas that we have coached people around, all of the areas that we have helped people get clarity around, it just really makes me proud, and it really kind of blows my mind. I mean, we've served clients around goal setting and personal growth and leadership and negotiation skills. We work with clients on building their confidence, uncovering and lifting up their self-esteem, creating action plans, and just so many areas. And when I look at how we've served entrepreneurs, it's just been an incredible kind of look back. At the Institute, we've always had two paths about personal growth and entrepreneurship. And I look back at some of the people that we've worked with and some of the industries. I mean, obviously, we've worked with coaches and speakers and authors, and we've worked with real estate agents and hair salons and beauty supply manufacturers. And we've worked with career coaches and senior living homes. And just to watch the transformation that these businesses have had as a result of the work that we've done with them has been nothing short of exciting and amazing, and makes me incredibly proud of the work that I and my team have done. We have had events. I've been doing live events since the beginning. My first Get Radical Women's Conference was in 2008, and it was a one-day event. And from that very first conference, I was able to watch that grow year over year over year until we were having, 500 women coming from all across the world to attend this radical event. And I've had the pleasure of sharing the stage with amazing people at my event. Many of you have been to those events, Jillian Michaels, Susie Orman, Niecy Nash, Juliana Rancic, Carol's daughter, Lisa Price, just so many amazing people who have come and not only poured into my life, because they came to the event for the attendees, but in my conversations with them, the lessons I've learned, the growth I've had, the insights I received that I've passed on to you guys, yes, has been amazing. And I don't know who this Facebook user is, but it says, I remember that conference. Yes, exactly. And then many of you came on board and you know me from the work that I have done with Steve Harvey. You know, for 5 years, I ran his Act Like a Success platform. And through that, was able to coach and train thousands of people. We had incredible conferences that Steve participated in. I ran his Success Institute. We graduated some amazing women and men around entrepreneurship and personal growth. And since transitioning out of his organization, we've just continued to rock and roll. And so through all of this, I've loved, just about every minute of it. Because we all know that entrepreneurship is not for the faint of heart. Entrepreneurship is not all roses and highlights and wins. The journey of entrepreneurship is one that requires persistence. It's one that requires consistency. It's one that requires your all-in effort. And so I've enjoyed just about all of the moments in that. And now, the last, year and a half to 2 years, I would say really since my mom passed, actually in July of 2018, I've really been thinking things through, right? Really thinking about what will be the next step. Where do I want to take a deeper dive into the work that I do? How do I want to serve, and who do I want to serve? And in that exploration and in those questions, new insights arose for me. And so if you have been paying attention, if you've been checking out newsletters, if you've been checking out our events, if you've been keeping up with our posts, and if you've been involved in our groups, then a lot of this won't be a surprise. You would have been like, oh, I saw that coming. But if you've kind of been in and out of the community, if you've kind of been opening and closing some emails and not really paying attention, then this may be brand new information for you. But what I've come to realize is that our community, and not just our community, but humanity, people, when it comes to goals, when it comes to success, when it comes to wanting more for your life, people tend to fall into one of 4 categories. And I shared these 4 categories at our life coach intensive that we did almost 2 weeks ago. But it really stemmed out of the conversations I've been having with myself, the conversations I've been having with my team, the conversations I've been having with my mastermind around what would be next for the Radical Success Institute. And these 4 types of people, I want you to kind of listen in and figure out which category you're in. Because I think that all people are in one of these categories. Now, that doesn't mean that you might fluctuate and come in and come out. I get all of that. But when you think about where you've been hanging out, it's a good time for a little bit of a self-assessment. So the first type of person is a dreamer. And this person has big goals. This person can see the possibility of what their future could be. This person can share with you and probably articulate pretty well the things that are important to them, the things that matter to them, one day, how they'll be living one day, what they'll be doing one day, what they will accomplish. But many people stay in that category. They stay a dreamer. They're the people that, yeah, they can talk about it, but they're not really walking their talk. They're not really, I mean, it sounds good. And when you hear them talk, you can get like inspired and you can be like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. But dreamers are just that. They're dreamers. And they do more talking than walking. They do more fantasizing than action steps. And they really do live in the one day soon. And those dreamers, they really engage with us because they like to be motivated and they like to be inspired. And I'm a motivating kind of person. I'm an inspiring kind of person. We do great videos and trainings, and you can, connect with us and hang out with us, and you'll be motivated and you'll be inspired, but you'll still be a dreamer. And so dreamers really do enjoy the motivation and inspiration when they come across it. And so if that's been you, right, if you've been kind of hanging out in dreamland, then you probably know that you've been talking about doing some things or talking about accomplishing some things that you've really made little or no progress on. And it really doesn't matter. Well, I'm not going to say it doesn't matter, but we can, as a coach, as a coaching company, we can offer all kinds of stuff. We can offer events, we can offer trainings, we could offer coaching, we could offer courses. But if you're a dreamer, you're really just chilling in dreamland. And you like to be around the motivation, but you're not really vested in it. And so that's the first type of person, a dreamer. The second type of person is a lurker. And a lurker is someone who, yeah, they've got the dream and they've actually taken some steps to make movement on those dreams. So they have possibly come to an event, they possibly take a training, they possibly do some coaching, they possibly join, a group, Facebook group, they possibly become part of a community, but they don't engage. They don't engage. They sit back and they look and they observe and they kind of take in what's happening. But they're just lurking. They're not contributing. They're not willing to put themselves out there to share, to ask for help, to talk about what they're doing, to put out their wins and their opportunities for celebration. They're not asking for help. And you guys probably in your own, and the things that you do and the things that you belong to, you probably either know lurkers or maybe you are a lurker. Maybe you have been hanging on the fringe of the Institute and what we do. Maybe you've been hanging on the fringe of some other areas of interest that you have. But that's all you do is you just hang on the fringe and you peek and you look and you want to like suck everything that is going on, but you're not giving anything to that. And those are lurkers. And so, let's do a quick check-in. If you are a dreamer, and this is a safe community, you don't have to stay where you are, but you have to acknowledge where you are, right? So if you're a dreamer, meaning you've had some goals and you've been talking about some things and you've been planning on doing some things and you've been planning on getting started and you've been planning on taking those steps and you've been planning on doing something on the vision board, anything on the vision board, then just give yourself a 1 down in the comments. I'm a dreamer. I'm a dreamer. And if you're catching this on the replay, don't be ashamed. Give yourself a 1. I'm a dreamer. I'm a dreamer. And if you are a lurker, then go ahead and give yourself a number 2 down in the comment section. I'm a lurker. I admit it. I like to hang out in the back. I like to watch and observe and see what everybody else is doing. I like to, not really engage or share or give, but I sure do love when other people share and engage and give. And if that's you, if you are the lurker, go ahead and give yourself a 2 down in the comment section. And if you're catching this on the replay, we want to know from you as well. Give yourself a 2. And then the third type of person is a learner. And this is the person that they've got the dream, they've connected, but they're not on the fringe. They're actively trying to figure out how to do what it is they want to do. They're actively trying to work through what do they need to know? What do they need to understand? What do they need to get better at? What extra skills do they need? How can I put this thing together so that I can walk out this action plan and make it happen? Those are learners. They're open. They need new ideas, new perspectives. They may seek out coaches or mentors or formal education or informal education, things to help them move from dreamer to lurker to learner. Okay, I'm figuring out what to do. I'm figuring this out, what to do. And learners are great, but learners can also get stuck in learning. They can get stuck in information gathering. They can get stuck in, I need to know more. I need to read one more thing. I need to take one more class. I need to do one more piece of research. And I remember when I first started coaching, one of the kind of requests that I would have with my clients was that they be coachable. And what that means is that you are open to feedback. You're open to learning new things. You're open to new perspectives. You're open to having your way of doing things challenged so that you can see what could be different for you. And I used to say that for years. I want you to be coachable. I want you to be coachable. Well, I've learned in my reflection in the last couple of years that being coachable isn't enough. It's necessary. It's part of the process, but it isn't enough. And that brings us to the question of, well, what is enough? And so, Angela says, I am a learner. I am so stuck in the planning and not the implementation. And so if that's you, if you're the learner, if you are the information gatherer, if you get stuck in researching, if you get stuck in perfection mode, if you get stuck in changing your dates, I'm going to start here, I'm going to do it this day, and it moves and moves and moves. Go ahead, call yourself out, give yourself a number 3 down in the comment section. And of course, if you're catching this on the replay, put that down in the comment section as well. And then there is the fourth person. And the fourth type of person is an implementor. This is someone who has a dream. They've come into the place that can help them with that dream, but they've decided not to lurk. They've decided to engage. And in that engagement, they've become a learner. And they've started to figure out all of the pieces that they need to know and understand in order to actually implement. And these are the people that are okay with things not being perfect. They are okay with maybe it not going as well as they think it should go. These are people who are okay with kind of early on fumbling through, trying to figure it out, but they're in forward motion. And so, when you look at these 4 areas, you get to decide where you are right now. Now, you don't have to decide to stay there. There are many times when implementers will go right back to dreaming and years will go by, right? There are times when people can be learn, and all of a sudden they just back off and they become lurkers again. And so, one of the comments here, I have a confidence issue trying to combine everything so that it makes sense. And I get confused about where to start and regarding how to. And part of that in the learning process to move from learner to implementer is that you have to choose a direction to go and then you have to do. Right? Where do I start? You start with start. Maybe you'll find out, oh, I shouldn't have started there. I should have started here. But you won't know that until you start. Right? What happens when you hit with blessings that you're trying to process it all, learning, I have to move in my pace, then what? Moving in your pace is, it's your pace. As long as you're clear about why you're moving at that pace. And because in all of these, dreamers, lurkers, learners, implementors, underneath all of those is a level of fear, a little lack of confidence that we all have to move through, right? Dreamers don't move because of fear. Lurkers don't engage because of fear. Learners don't necessarily implement because of fear. Implementors, if they really rocking and rolling, every time they get to a new level, they have to decide that fear is not going to hold them back. And so, when I look at all 4 of these areas and what we do at the Institute, dreamers need that motivation and inspiration. Lurkers are actually, they're almost a non-factor. We don't get the beauty of getting to know the lurkers because they lurk. And with dreamers and lurkers, they're looking for some external factor to push them forward, to make them do something. And that is not possible. Coaches, and I know motivational speakers and coaches, some people can get wrapped up in trying to make dreamers and lurkers do something. Right? I used to be there. Come on, you can do it. Let's go. You should sign up. You should enroll. You should come. Right? And it's exhausting for me. Motivation comes from the inside. And when you look to external factors to get you moving, you're never going to move as fast as you could. You're only going to move in spurts, right? Because we who come to the dreamers and come to the lurkers and we go, you got it, you can do it, make it happen, you've got it in you. And in that moment, there's this burst of energy. And then the dreamers and lurkers, boom, they hit it hard and then they fizzle out. And then it's come on, we got to pump them up again. You can do it, you can do it. And so it's whoo, man. And so we really wanted to not just shift our focus here at the Institute, but also shift how we serve people and the people that we serve. And when I looked at what made me joyful, what got me excited to continue to do this work, 2 things came up for me. The first thing that came up for me was our inner circle. So our radical inner circle is designed for learners and implementers. And when I look at the inner circle, the membership in the inner circle, there are some dreamers and lurkers in there. And the business person says, well, who cares if there are dreamers and lurkers in the membership? They're paying their money. I care because I want people to win. And I want my energy and my coaching and everything that my team pours into what we do to fall on the mindset of people who want to learn and implement. And so with the inner circle, we're committed to growing that for people who are learners and implementers. And the people who would be best inside of our inner circle are those people who want to do some self-work, right? Because just because you want to learn and implement doesn't mean that you don't have fear, doesn't mean that your confidence doesn't need to be built, doesn't mean that you got some old stories playing in your head that you got to figure out, doesn't mean that you're all clear about everything. You need some clarity around some things, doesn't mean that you're not quite sure what actions to take. It doesn't mean that. It means that your mindset is that of, as I work through all of this, I'm going to learn and implement. As I work through my perfection syndrome, as I work through my lack of confidence, as I work through not quite sure what my authentic goals are, I'm committed to the learning and I'm committed to the implementation. And so that inner circle is the core of the personal coaching or, coaching for success that the Institute is going to offer. And we've done masterminds and we've done courses and all kinds of things. And those things are, for right now, off the table. This inner circle, because I believe that what we put into that circle is powerful with our trainings every month, our live Q&As, our accountability pods. And so right now, membership is closed in the inner circle. I guess it's kind of weird to talk about it and you can't get in. But if you're not a member of the inner circle, you can go to Radical Success Inner Circle and get on the wait list for when we open up membership. And so in terms of how we coach people, it starts with the inner circle. And it starts with coming into that wanting to be a learner and an implementer, and us showing up in a big way to support those of you who are inside of the inner circle. And so if you're a member of the inner circle and you're here, give us a shout out in the comment section. Say, I'm in, I'm in, I'm in, I'm in. If you're catching this on the replay, let us know. If you're not a part of the inner circle, the way that you engage with us as an institute, as a coach, and being a learner and an implementer is to be a part of that inner circle. And so I encourage you, if you're not a member, to go to radicalsuccessinnercircle.com and get on the wait list so that you'll know when registration opens up or when membership opens up for that. So I said we had two ways and two areas of focus. So one is our inner circle. The other focus is life coaches. Now, you heard me say earlier that through our entrepreneur coaching, we've helped all kinds of people, service-based entrepreneurs who want to grow their business and need to understand marketing, branding, and sales. And I said earlier, we've worked with real estate agents and salon owners and assisted living home owners and coaches and authors and speakers and stylists and, all of that. But I've decided I don't want to do all of that anymore. I want to help life coaches build their skill set, get better results for their clients, and build a profitable business. I've been a life coach since the beginning. That was my start. I started this journey as a life coach. And I wholeheartedly believe in the profession of life coaching. I believe everybody needs a qualified life coach at some point in their journey. And I believe that there are many qualified life coaches that don't know how to build a profitable business. And one of the questions that you can ask yourself when you're trying to figure out, how can I have a bigger impact? What type of business should I start? How can I be more of a contributor to humanity? One of the questions you can ask yourself is, what breaks your heart? When you think about philanthropy, for some people, it breaks their heart that animals get mistreated. That's where they give their time and energy and resources to. For other people, it breaks their heart when they hear about domestic violence. And so that's where they give their time and energy and effort to. And so when it comes to business, I ask myself, what breaks my heart? And I'm going to tell you, coaches who cannot create a type of business that they want to serve the clients and to make the money. And, when I say life coaches, I mean, wellness and health coaches, life coaches, career coaches, grief coaches, relationship coaches, money coaches. It's this idea that we have this great skill and we don't know how to build a business around it. And so for me, I made the decision that I only want, when it comes to building businesses, to work with life coaches. And I know that there are people here that have been in my programs who aren't life coaches, and I know that I can help those people. I mean, it's not that I can't help service-based entrepreneurs market, sell, and grow their business, but who I want to help, where my heart has drawn me to, is life coaches. And so that's why I said, if you've been paying attention, you've probably seen this shift happening. And so last year, we launched our life coach training and certification program. And it was our very first year. And we had an incredible class of 2020 graduate this past May with skills and knowledge about how they can advance and make money in their coaching practice. And this 2 weeks ago, we had our Radical Coach Intensive where, oh my gosh, over 3 days, we broke down the process for being a confident, marketable, and profitable coach. And so if that's you, if coaching is something that you have thought about doing, if coaching is something that you want to do, if coaching is something that you have done, but you haven't made significant income at it, you don't know how to position yourself in the marketplace, you don't know how to really create consistent results, then this is for you. Yeah, someone says, I've noticed the shift. I don't know who it is, a Facebook user. Yes, Shirley says she noticed the shift. Yes, absolutely. Then if you are a coach, then I invite you to join me for a free training that I'm going to be doing actually later on this evening that really highlights what are the 3 major components coaches need to understand in order to build a profitable business. And so if that is you, you can go to radicalcoachcertification.com. It's a free training that you can apply for that gives you access to these core elements that I've learned over my time as a coach to build the business that you not only want, but the business that you deserve. And yes, I love this. Super beneficial for the 3-day conference. And so if you are a learner and an implementor, and even if you're a dreamer and a lurker, but gosh darn it, I am moving out of this dreamer and lurker phase. If you are that person and you're saying, you know what, it is my time. I have some big goals I want to achieve. I have some progress I want to make. I have a life that I envision for myself, and I need to get the support. I need to get the accountability. I need to get the structure to make it happen. Then the Radical Success Inner Circle is for you. That's where it all goes down. That's where your community is. That's where your coaching is. That's where your training is. That's where your accountability is. That's where your motivation is. And that's where your inspiration is. And get on the wait list so that when we open up membership again into the inner circle, you're going to be the first to know. And so Radical Success Inner Circle is where you go to get on the wait list, so that we can make sure that you continue to make the progress that you want to make. If you are a coach and you're thinking, I need to really step up my coaching game. If you've thought about being a life coach, if you're wondering if this is something that you could actually turn into a profession, then I encourage you to look at this as well. We're doing a free training tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you're catching this on the replay and it's past that date, you can still go to radicalcoachcertification.com, because there'll be information on there about how you can get access to the replay. And so I am excited about the shifts. I'm excited about the changes that we're making. I'm excited about the direction that we're headed in. And I'm excited to help coaches. When I tell you that life coaching is needed now more than ever. People need support. People need guidance. People need an understanding of how they can move from where they are to where they want to be in their relationships, with their finances, in their health and wellness, around their personal growth. And that's the role of a life coach. And I believe that to be a coach that serves their clients to their next best level, it's not just enough to be a good listener. It's not just enough to, be real with people, tell it like it is. Coaching is a skill. I take that skill very seriously. And for those of you who want to know what does it take to get the confidence and the skills of a coach, what does it take to create big results for your coaching clients, and what does it take to build a profitable business, I invite you to join me for this training, radicalcoachcertification.com. And so that's it, folks. That is what we have been working on. This will be our conversation. Our conversation will either be around helping dreamers and lurkers become learners and implementers through our Radical Success Inner Circle, or helping life coaches build their skill set, create better client results, and build a profitable coaching practice. That is who we are. That is what we do. And I'm excited about sharing this with the world. When I decided to create the Life Coach Training and Certification Program, I didn't create it just because, I thought this would be good. I created it with the intention of being the #1 Life Coach Training and Certification Program, period. There will be no better program than this. Our program focuses on the self-work, because as a coach, you got to be committed to your own self-work. We can't be coaches saying, do as I say, not as I do. Our coaching and certification program focuses on how to get client results. How do you transfer your coaching knowledge, understanding, experience into a client so that they can actually get the results they're looking for? And then inside of our coaching certification program, our coaches actually run a 10-week coaching program. They actually do coaching inside of the certification with a group of clients that we provide to them. And so they get the real world experience of coaching people inside of the safety of a training and certification program. And so I just cannot express enough about how excited I am about everything that we have going on here at the Institute. And so I'm excited that you guys are a part of our community. The Institute for our learners and implementors, all of our insights and shares and all of that stuff will happen right here in this tribe. And so you are a part of this community. We'll be engaging in this group. We want you to engage in this group because we're going to be specifically addressing those things that dreamers need, those things that lurkers need, those things that learners need, and those things that implementors need. If you are a coach, I invite you to join our coaches Facebook group, which is Radical Life Coaches with Doreen Rainey. And I'm just going to share the link down in the comment section so that you guys can join that group as well. If you are a coach, that's where we talk all things coaching. And so thank you guys so much for joining me today. I would love to hear any ahas you had from our session today, any takeaways you've had from our session today, any comments you'd like to share. I believe that if you are part of this group, of this community, of this radical tribe, then you will greatly benefit from being a part of the inner circle, dreamer, lurker to learner to implementor. And if you are a coach and you are not getting the results that you want, you don't have a community to support you, you don't have the skills around marketing and sales and pricing and enrollments, then I invite you to join me for our training session this evening. It's absolutely free. You can go to radicalcoachcertification.com, fill out a short application, and you'll get access for our training this evening. All right, guys, thank you so much. I am excited for all the changes that we have going on at the Institute, and I'm excited for you to be a part of it. So be sure to share your comments, your takeaways, your ahas down in the comments. If you're catching this on the replay, let us know as well. For those of you who need to get on the wait list for the Inner Circle, go to radicalsuccessinnercircle.com. And for those of you who want to join us for our Life Coach free training session, go to radicalcoachcertification.com. All right. Thank you guys so much. And I will see you soon.